Alrighty, let me pull you guys up here over here on my phone. Not see yet. So hello, hello, happy Sunday evening. Let me see if I can get my phone connected so I can see you guys. So if you are here, here we go. Yep, there we go. Let me turn my sound off real quick. Okay, hello, hello everyone. I just wanted to pop on here really quick. I just finished a tutorial in my private group, and I was playing around and I made these sweet little baby Easter cakes, and I thought that I haven't been over here in this group in a while, that I would come on and do a short little sweet little tutorial on these. They come together really quick. You only need a couple ingredients, and then I'll hop back over in my private group and I have a different tutorial, a bonus one for them over there. So yeah, so if you're here joining me live, say hello in the comments so that I know you're here. And if you're watching this on replay, if you can just put hashtag replay, I get a notification and I can come back in and I can say hello to you later. So, okay, so again, this is what we're making. They're just these sweet little, they're not even petite fours. They're just little baby cakes that will look really nice on your tiered trays for Easter or even spring. So, okay, so what you're gonna need is, I'm using this package of sponges that I purchased just at my local grocery store, Kroger's. And I also am using the little miniature eggs that are in the Easter section at Hobby Lobby. And you'll need scissors. And then the only other thing that we're going to use is some faux icing. I already have mine mixed up and in my piping bag. You can use any tip that you want. I'm not quite sure which tip I'm using because my bag is covering up right now, but I can put it in the comments below for anybody that wants to know. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to move this over here for now. Get out of our way. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our sponges, and I made purple ones, so I'm going to go ahead and grab the purple sponge. Purple's my favorite color, so I want to make some more in the purple. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut your sponge in half. I'm just using regular scissors. So you're going to cut your sponge in half, and so I just cut it like vertically, and then we're going to turn it and do it again, which is kind of horizontal. Okay, and then you're going to keep those two pieces together, and then turn and cut the other part of the sponge and keep those two together as well. Okay. Once you get those cut, then you want to put them together with the cut side together, and then so you'll kind of see where this particular sponge has like a wavy edges to it. We don't want that. We want to cut those off so that they're straight. So I'm just going to put them together on the cut side and then cut those little wavy pieces off. You want to squeeze them together because you want to kind of keep them so they're the same size. And then I'll just set those over there. Okay, and then we're going to cut again, just in the middle, like that. Okay, so that now you have 4 pieces. And this one, put those back together, and then I'm going to go to the other side. All right, so we're just going to put them together on the cut side, and then cut off this wavy side. We don't want it wavy. Move those over there, and then cut these in the middle. All right. Okay, so now I have 4 pieces. Go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, okay, so I have them stacked up. And so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. I want to cut this in half, but I don't want to rip it completely. So I'm going to start by cutting just a little corner with my scissors. And then I'm going to use my fingers, and then I'm going to rip it so that it creates 2 pieces. You just want to kind of go slow because we're going to put that icing in the middle, and you want to try to have it kind of as even as possible, like that. And then I'm going to set them back together the way I took them apart and then go to the next one. Some of them, like this one, was real easy to pull apart without cutting it. But if you need to use your scissors, feel free to grab those so that you get a nice, not an even edge, but we want the filling to kind of be centered between the two pieces. So when you do take them apart, it's kind of like a puzzle. You want to put them back together so that they fit, and then just set those aside. All right. And we're just going to keep going until we get all of them. And there we go. Set those together. And just keep going. So this one is tearing really easily for me, but I'm going slow because I want to, like I said, I want to be able to put the filling in, and I want it to look kind of even when we put it back together. So there we go. All right. So I'm going to end up with 8 of them when I'm done. And I'm using the little Easter eggs that have glitter on them, but they look like they're sugared. So I'm not adding any additional glitter when I assemble them. I'm just doing it, just letting the eggs be my finished embellishment. But if you wanted to add additional glitter to yours, you can. All right, these were coming apart really easy, actually. Alrighty. 2 more. Okay, let's scooch those down here. So, there we go. All right, almost there. Let's got this one and one last one. Do one last one. All right. Again, like I said, it's kind of like a puzzle. So when you rip it apart, you want to keep them so that they come back together. There we go. All right. So get those. And okay. So then the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to grab my faux icing, which is I've already mixed it up, and it has the lightweight spackle and some white acrylic paint. I didn't add any additional ingredients because it didn't feel like they needed it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 2 sponges. I'm going to open it and then just put a little dollop of the filling. That's what it's going to be. And then I'm going to take my sponge and put it back on top. And when you do, you just want to kind of line it up so that it matches and it makes a nice little square. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little dollop of the, let me grab my holder. Just going to put a little dollop of the icing on top. Then I'm going to open up our little eggs. And I'm just doing 2. I felt like that's all that it needed. There's not a lot of room. But yeah, so I'm just sticking 2 like that. I'll move these so hopefully you can see them. So there. All right. And this is just a really short, sweet little tutorial. It comes together really easy. And you can use it to decorate your tiered trays. You can use it with Easter coming up, with spring coming up. With the Easter eggs, obviously you probably want to use it for Easter. But even for spring, I know a lot of you, you know, like to decorate with these colors. So even though it has the eggs, it may go really well with the rest of your decor that you're using for your either your holiday or your seasonal decorations. All right, so like I said, you can see what I'm doing. It's really easy to do. I'm just putting it back together and then putting it on top with the little eggs. Let's scooch that over here. I'm gonna pour these out, make it easier. They want to run off. There we go. All right, so we'll take blue and yellow. But yeah, so with this particular brand of sponges, hey Joe, nice to see you. With this particular brand of sponges, it comes with lots of colors. So it's the purple, yellow, pink, and then it's not really a minty green. It's more like a, let me hold this one up. It's kind of like I don't know. It's just like a light green, tealy green almost. Not quite minty green, but that's okay. But yeah, but like I said, purple's my favorite color, so obviously I had to start with the purple ones. And then I'll go back and I'll make some, probably with the yellow and probably with the pink. So, all right. But just really easy, really fast, and really inexpensive. Like, it just comes together and really quickly. So, whoops. Tip that one over. Yeah, so I'm just kind of sandwiching them together, and then just make sure they kind of line up so they look square when you're finished. So I'll do a purple one on this one, and how about a blue one? And kind of using my nails to move them because the icing is wet still, and I don't want to touch the icing. So, all right. So here we go. That down. Oops. The icing wanted to come off on that one. Oh, that one's got a lot of icing. That's okay. All right. So we're going to do that there, that one there, line them up, and then I got two more, and that's it. Like I said, it's just a really short and sweet little tutorial, and it's just something just to add to your displays. So, what did Joe say? Love the peeps. I need a tutorial for those. The some more peeps or the little peeps over here on this tray. So yeah, so the fake bakes, aside from these little sweet ones that we're making, all the other fake bakes, the peeps and the cookies, s'mores, the deviled eggs, the carrots, and I have a few more back here. All of those are, I taught those on my, in my other private group. So, so if you guys are interested in learning how to make those, after I do the tutorial, our tutorials are recorded and available in the group. So no matter when you jump in and join us in the group, you have access to all of the current and all the past tutorials. So, okay, so if you want information, you can just send me a private message, or you can comment below and I can send you some more information. So, okay, so I'm on my last one over here. And, oh, there goes my dog. All right, and then I think this one, which color should I use? I don't have a lot of blue. Let's use a little bit more blue. We'll do a blue and a pink. There we go. All right, and just like I said, using my finger, moving that forward. So, yes, you just got on. It's a sponge. So, let me hold this up. So what it is, you can use any sponges. I picked these up at one of our local grocery stores. It's called Kroger. So I don't know if you have that in your area, but I purchased these at my local Kroger, and they are Kroger brand, is why I mentioned it. But you can get any brand. But yeah, so this one had it's yellow, kind of a green, and then pink, and then a purple sponge. And there were 6 in a package. And then the other thing we're using is the little Easter eggs that are at Hobby Lobby. They're in the Easter section. They just come in this little, just like this size bag, little tiny bag, and it just says Easter crafts. So just a little one. And then the icing is just the lightweight spackle with white acrylic paint. I didn't add any additional ingredients for that. So, so we just cut them up into squares, and then you just want to carefully, like, sometimes you have to use scissors to get them started, like to cut the squares apart. So if you're just joining me, you can go back. It's a really quick and short tutorial. But yeah, so you just want to, when you put them back together, just kind of line them up so that they look kind of square, like a piece of cake would. So, so I'll hold this up and I can kind of show you. That's what these look like. And I didn't add any additional embellishments, but if you wanted to, you absolutely could. Like if you wanted to add any glitter or even sprinkles or anything like that. Like you could add additional stuff. So, okay, well, as you can see, this was just a really short and sweet one. I just hadn't had a chance to be on here in a while. I've been sick, and so yeah, so yay, I'm glad that, hi Jamie, hi Joe, I'm so glad you guys like these. So, so yeah, so that's all I had for you. I do want to give a shout out to my son Kirk. He's here in the group. Today is his birthday, so hey, love you, miss you, and happy birthday. I'm also want to do a giveaway in our group because our first giveaway was 1 year ago today on my son Kirk's birthday. So, so yeah, so keep. I'll post something in your group, in our group, so you can kind of keep an eye out for that when that comes in. But yeah, so anyway, so thanks, Joe. I know he'll see this, so I appreciate that. So, so yeah, so yeah, thanks for joining me. I'm really glad I got a chance to hop on here. So I came from my private group doing a tutorial, and then I was playing around and just kind of did these just now and thought, oh, I'll share it with you guys. And then now I'm headed back over to my private group, so I have a bonus tutorial for them tonight. So, so yeah, but I'll be back on here again shortly, not just with the giveaway, but with another tutorial. So, so yeah, so I'm gonna hop off of here, but thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys in the group. Thanks, everyone. Good night.